Blam! How you doing? So finally we are here in order to be able to show you the product I've been saying on my channel for a little while from the kind folks at Spooky 2. Now, because we are spiritual on this channel and we do a lot of meditating, we do a lot of aura healing, chakra healing, negative thinking, this machine is classed as basically your soulmate. Through this channel, we obviously deal with frequencies and what we feel empathically from our soulmates and from our soul groups of people, that when we're going through our karma, things can get very difficult and our auras can be blocked and we can feel a lot of blockages and a lot of negative thinking. And we go through a lot of stuff when we're spiritual, well, when we're human in general, right? So the kind folks at Spooky 2 have sent over this product for me to review. And they've also given me quite a bit of time in order to be able to do it because of my unfortunate accident that I did predict of when I hit a deer and I've had to buy a new car and everything else. But they have been so kind to me by giving me extra time in order to review it and actually test out the product. So after this part of where I show you what you get with the beginners package, okay, and there will also be a link provided below for you that will give you off, I think it's 4 or 5%, not really sure, it's one or the other. I think it's 5%, but it'll be a discount code that is below this video, okay, that you can click on and you can go over to the site and take a look. It will more than likely be where you have to put in the discount code and they will give you a discount on your product of what you buy. You can actually buy individual pieces. You don't have to like buy the whole set because there are different packages and different sets of what you can buy. But if you've already got one, because a lot of you have been telling me that you have dealt with like Rife machines, because it's what it is, it's a Rife machine. In the past, if you do already have Spooky Doo products, great. Because then you can use the product code below in order to be able to maybe buy yourself another piece of equipment that you can add on to this. That is the great thing about this, is that with the beginner's package that you buy, it's not ended. There are so much more things that you can add on to it. And what I would like to also say is that for many of you that may be looking at healing a job, or you do jobs in like massage therapy or therapy itself or beauty therapy even, you can add these kind of products into what you offer clients spiritually as well. Like if you have a shop, a spiritual shop or anything like that, this is very good that you could actually start to earn some money by doing so. Okay, by adding into what you offer with your beauty therapy, nails even and stuff like that, whatever, you know, whatever you girls do, okay, or men. So let's start off with very generally of what we get, because unfortunately I was so eager to get it going that I've thrown away all of the packaging, so I can't really do an unboxing. But I will show you individually what the products are. So obviously we've got the 2-channel signal generator from Spooky 2, and basically you have to plug it into your PC, okay, and then obviously one into a power outlet, okay. You do have to have, don't quote me on this, but I'm sure I am right, is that you have to use Windows. So it has to be a Windows PC, okay. I do not think that this runs on Mac. I'm not sure if they run on any kind of like pad, but it would not be able to, but it would not be a iPad because that is obviously Mac. So I'm not sure if they've worked a way around that, but as far as I know, you would have to have something that's running Windows, okay? Because you also get a program, and after this part, this section, is where the interesting bit is, and you're going to want to see that bit because I've put together a spiritual package for us of what I feel would be very good for a morning routine in order for us to go over every time that we wake up. I mean, I've been using this and I do remote viewing, as you know, and I do a lot of channeling and remote viewing. I don't really do much tarot cards anymore. But this has helped with my remote viewing and channeling and having a very good connection with spirit and myself, which is spirit. Are you channeling yourself? But it's very good for those kind of things to open you up and keep you cleansed and clear in order to be able to start off your day to see if it helps your visions to unblock you and to continue on with your spiritual journey. Okay, especially if you do spiritual work with tarot card readings and clients and stuff. So generally what we get is the Spooky 2 two-signal generator. Okay. Now with the power of editing, we have a clean table. So I thought I would do it individually instead of creating such chaos on my table here. So this is the box that Spooky 2 sends you, and it has everything inside. And there is so much in here that it's like Christmas, pretty much. It's like opening up multiple different presents all at once in one box. Okay, so when you open up your box, you're going to be surprised on how much stuff is actually in here that you can use to get you started. Okay, so I'm gonna go through each individual thing that we've kind of got. We've definitely got that I've just gone over, which is the generator. Okay, that can be upgraded at any point. You can use 2 of these or 3 of these, I think, or you can upgrade to their generator X, which is more of a powerful machine. But then you get so many packs of tens pads that you can continue to use time and time again. And then when they get worn out, you can obviously just replace it with another one. And then I think you can actually buy these on the Spooky 2 website as well. Okay, so you get loads of tens pads. So I don't think you'll be running out of those very quickly. You also get a set of sunglasses that are for the wristband that I will show you very quickly now, that I think I've shown you as well. But the wristband is what I've used, and I haven't used the tens pad so much, but I should be, because they're more powerful than just this alone. But this is obviously like an Apple Watch or a watch. And they do also give you, in this pack, some Velcro extenders. So basically you can put this anywhere on your body. It just doesn't have to go on your wrist. It can actually feed through here, which can be a little bit tricky for the start. Okay, but it can go through here, and then obviously it closes, and then it gives you an extended watch. Okay, and then this just literally sticks on here, and then you can have this on your leg. Okay, your upper or lower arm, upper or lower leg. Okay, mainly. Obviously, do not go above your neck or on your neck. Okay, don't put it on your temple or your eyes or anything like that, right? But that is another product that you get with this beginner's package. Okay, this is very good. It's good to use with the tens pads. Okay, as well. So the reason why I'm doing them singular is because it started to look very much of a mess when I was trying to kind of review them, because there's a lot of wires and a lot of leads in here. But that is a good thing, because this is a very long tens pad lead that you get with it as well. So it'll help you be able to move around and still continue to work and not get things like jammed and stuff. So you get plenty of cable that you can use for different kind of things that I will show you in a bit, because there is also some tubes that you can use for a foot spa in general. Okay, but the general rule of thumb is that this fits onto the generator, and you turn and it locks it into place. Okay, straightforward, very quick, very easy. Okay, this end of the other end of the cable, basically there is a red and a black cable that goes into the tens pads. Okay, and there you go, you've pretty much set it up. But Spooky 2 clients and everybody that's been working for Spooky 2 or been promoting them, I've done multiple different videos that you can find on their website and also on their YouTube channel that will all be linked below, with also the code that you can use to get 5% off. Okay. Okay, guys, so I really do apologize if you start to see a few edits within these segments, but I really wanted to give this its credit where it's due. Okay, and I really wanted to make sure that I tested the product enough so I kind of can credit, you know, what I think about the product itself. Now, this is obviously, so you know this channel that we do, I do a lot of remote viewing, obviously, okay? Spiritual remote viewing. Now, this is actually called the Spooky 2 Remote. So if you look at this as your personal twin flame or soulmate, so if we was to actually look at twins, okay, when a twin is born, they always say that they can actually feel and know exactly what is going to happen when it happens. I know when they're feeling down, when they're feeling happy, if they're about to call, if there's something wrong with my twin. Spiritually and metaphysically, a lot of us kind of go through that with our soulmates and twin flame on our journey, right? We become empathic, and there's a metaphysical connection between the person that actually isn't born as a twin, but within spiritual entanglement or quantum physics or metaphysics, we feel the energy of people, but especially like our, twin flame or soulmate, right? So this is actually called the Spooky Remote, and I actually do a lot of remote viewing. So why is this really important? Okay, so when you start to look at, like, if you're using TENS pads, or if you're using the wristwatch, or the, all of the other things that I've shown you, you obviously have to be sitting down and put the TENS pads on, or holding the poles, or putting them into a foot spa. And that is going to be like where there's wires everywhere and I can't really move around. How long do I have to sit here? Every human being is very impatient, especially if you're a Sagittarian, maybe. Just kidding. But so what this is if you look at it as a personal Wi-Fi connection between yourself and yourself. So let me hopefully explain. So inside of this remote is a little white sticker. And inside of the white sticker is my thumbnail. Okay, so a thumbnail, you can either use saliva or blood, but basically what you want is your DNA. Now, because a thumbnail or a fingernail takes the longest to actually die off, okay, when it's separated from you, it starts to die off, but it takes quite a long time. So really there is a molecular, what would they call it, like a quantum entanglement, but a structure that is still a part of you, that is still alive somewhere within the earth, no matter where you are. And that's where the remote comes into play. So you could look at it as like a Wi-Fi signal between yourself, wherever you are. If you're traveling, if you're going to the shops, if you're not at home, if you are walking around your home, you don't have to be connected via wires. You can be connected by the remote. So basically you take a piece of your DNA, you put it inside of the remote, okay, and you fix it to the spooky boost. And then the boost obviously goes on the generator. Okay, we lock it into place. And then when you do start up the program, you'll see lights flashing at the beginning here pretty much. And what you would do is you would go on to the program itself that I do show you at the end, and you look for remote. And then there is special programs to go through. Now, what I will say is they ask you to go through a certain protocol first that can take up to, it's a very long time. But when I had it running myself, I was thinking, I have to admit, I really don't know if this is going to work. But when I run the protocol, I realized that when it came to the metals in your teeth, like I forget what they call it within your teeth, but it goes through metals of your body to remove them and things like that. My teeth started to feel like sensitive, and that I could taste metal in my mouth. And this is not even connected to me via a wire. It just has my DNA in it. And at the time I wasn't at home. I put it on, I left it running, and then I went to the pub to see my friend. As I'm sitting there, I'm kind of getting this metallic taste in my mouth and feeling like I've got a filling or something or whatnot. So I was like, what is that? And I was like, oh my God, I can remember now. This remote is actually running at home while I'm not here. That is so bizarre. Okay. So it does go through all of the things, and it gives you like a general clean out and everything, and then it kind of replaces everything and stuff like that. But generally, rule of thumb, that your DNA, whatever in here, as long as it still be alive and you don't have to change it, it still has a molecular construction between you and whatever it is that you've put in here. So it can still pick up your DNA like it would energetically of a twin flame, a soulmate, or an actual twin. It knows where you are, what you're doing. It knows all of your DNA. And then it can send signals from your DNA that is still connected to you and tethered to you energetically. Okay, it's absolutely marvelous. Like, because if you look at these, this machine here is pretty much what you would be using 99% of the time, because the moment that you know that you can use this and learn how to use it and start to learn about energy, and which we already know on this channel, that you'll realize that you can kind of go about your day and do whatever you like, and you can set many a different program that you think, okay, this is like 8 or 9 hours program. I haven't got time in order to sit around for 9 hours while this program runs, because I need to move about, I need to get up, I need to answer the door and stuff like that, go to the toilet, right? So you can do whatever you like here. So majority of people that use the Spooky 2 product, they end up buying quite a lot of these, or they buy the Generator X, and they have one, and then they have another one, and another one, and another one. Now, this don't just also heal yourself, it can also heal anybody or any piece of DNA that you've got inside it. Now, that doesn't even have to be human. That can also be your cat or your dog or your pets. Okay, say if you know that your dog or your cat is suffering through cataracts, or it has pain ailments and it has joint ailments and stuff, and you really care about your pet, you can take a toenail clipping or a claw clipping of your pet and put it inside of here and run a structure through here and see if you see any changes within your animal. Okay, like I said, there are a lot of things that you can also test if you start to get into the scientific parts of it. There was also a very interesting subject that they brought up as well, that like what we call them in Britain is midgies. Okay, and they come from the corn. When it starts to become hot and the corn is being grown, there are these very small little flies that start to circulate around Britain, and it becomes very annoying because they're so small, but they just land on you, and and they're everywhere around the houses. So you can run these certain things that give off frequencies that actually deter them from coming around your house, right? So if you have like a fly infestation or an ant infestation and whatnot, and you use it on that, it will actually stop all those creatures from coming and circulating around your house, because it's giving off this frequency that, like a repellent, if you like. Okay. So very interesting facts that you can learn about this. So just very briefly before I move on to the next product, this is the Spooky Remote, and it's like remote viewing in a way. Okay. It can pick up things, like it can pick up from you to here and heal you at a distance, and it can either kill off certain pathogens or it could heal them, or do both. But all of the things that you can do mainly with the TENS pads and everything, you can also do very much so with this. It's your personal twin flame soulmate. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the next product. Now, the next product as well is also very fascinating for one of the other little things that they've got that is so simple when you know what it does. So basically, it's the Spooky Pulse. Now, you can also buy in another package or separately on its own, and you can use the product code below if you have one of these machines and you just want to get one of the products individually. But this is the Spooky 2 Pulse. So basically how this works is that you plug this directly into your PC, okay, your laptop or your computer, but it really needs to be a direct feed. Okay, it doesn't really need to be in a USB extension. It needs to go directly into the main USB port of your computer. Okay, because it's reading pulse. And because it reads your pulse, it doesn't need any kind of delay. So there shouldn't really be a delay. It has to be the shortest amount of lead that there is, like this, the shortest amount of distance between here and this, and then it will start to pick up your pulse rate when you obviously like use this part. Now this has sensors inside, obviously, like a finger pulse monitor would do. But if you do have this, do not have it on your fingernail. Okay, it needs to be on your actual skin. Okay, so when that's running, this can run. Now that you do have to sit down for this one, and I must say that I haven't been able to sit around long enough because I have ADHD and I'm a very busy person. So I wasn't able to sit around for the 15 to probably 20 minutes that this will take to run, but I will do. But as far as it works, it basically takes your pulse and then it runs what the Spooky 2 software, like if there's something wrong with you, it sweeps your body and it says, okay, your body will adapt better to these kind of frequencies. Now, as far as I know, don't quote me on it, but they do also have, that is something very similar to this, but they're two individual little plates. And you can put the DNA inside of the plate and you can run a protocol and it will pretty much pick up all of the DNA and everything that goes through your body, your heart rate and all that sort of stuff. And it will kind of pinpoint what you need work on and then probably advise you on the programs that it thinks that you would benefit more, or it does things like it would alter the frequency to your specific body type. Because we all have different body types. And this is no wonder drug or anything, okay? It will take practice because everybody's body DNA is different, constructed differently than everybody. There's barely anybody that's exactly the same. So each machine really needs to be tailored towards what works for you and what may not work for you. And if it doesn't work, it's probably because the frequencies need to be more in tune. And these are the ways that you can hopefully give the machine a little bit of more information about yourself. Okay? Because don't forget, like the Spooky remote, it needs to have DNA that is yourself to give you signals about yourself, right? This is pretty much the same. When the computer and the program starts to know more about you, it can give you the better program. It's a lot like the Matrix in a way. It'll redesign all of your numerology and your molecular construction of your DNA and then run through your body as a sweep to think, okay, we really need to send these numbers into this body because that'll work a lot better, right? So it works off frequencies and so on and so forth. But very interesting to be able to sit long enough to be able to think, I need the computer to know more about me. This is the way I do it. And then when it knows my heart rate and everything else, it'll know what programs fit better for me. Okay. So sorry if I had to, if you probably won't see it, but I've edited it the best I can because I wanted to make sure that I'd kind of tested these and realized what may or may not kind of work. I will give you a little bit. I left this on for my, I really can't remember what it's called. It's like obsemia or something. But because I spend a long time sitting up, okay, I get all of my legs and my feet swell a lot because my legs are not equal with my heart for the fluid to run, in and out of my heart. So I get swollen legs and ankles and feet. When I was using this, I may or may not have been using the right kind of frequency, or I hadn't used this in order for it to know what to use. It didn't really work so well. But when I was using the actual TENS pads, it did work. Okay. So there's a fine line between this knowing you and whether it's going to, what it's going to work on more. I would say that these are better more for the the energy clearing and the energy healing and the frequencies and stuff that run through your body, more so than what I would say of a swelling of the legs and the ankles and so on and so forth. I would say this is more energy type sort of clearing and healing and stuff like that than I would say the fixing of a swollen leg or ankle. But I haven't tested it long enough. But what I can say is that the TENS pads helped with that element a lot more than what this one did. When I was running the spiritual bath kind of cleansing program that I put together for myself, which was what you will see, is the Kundalini experience, the 7 chakras, the balancing, the energy in, the energy out, the aura, the negative thinking program. When I run that, I felt like all kinds of peculiar. So I could really feel that it was doing something. And for that brief hour or so, I felt fantastic. Like I really did feel good. And I wasn't at home. Like I said, I was out visiting a friend. We were catching up. I'd left it running on the spiritual program that I've made for myself. Left it running, and I'm in a fast, energetic mood of, I was speaking clearly. We had great communication between me and my friend. It was just, and I was talking to him about it, and he likes a lot of these sort of things. And he was kind of like, well, there's definitely a structure between it. And we were having like a little conversation, but I would definitely say that this works for the majority of things. But on other things, there may need to be a few tweaks and twists that you may need to look at. Okay. That's where using this or the plates that you can get from Spooky 2. And then, like I said, you can use this for yourself. Later on, you could probably buy another one if you can afford it. And you can use one for your mum, one for your dad or your parents, your siblings, your animals, your son, your daughter, your friend. And you could very much do this kind of thing for a living as well. You can do people from overseas and whatnot, right? You get their DNA, so on and so forth, and you run all of these different protocols at different times, okay? So you write down on it whose DNA it is, when you got it, how long it will last, 3 months, started it, blah, blah, blah. So there you go. So we will go on to the next segment. I've been using this. Voila! So this is for you guys that may experience a lot of things that I do. I can't breathe through my nose. I had polyps and I had loads of problems with my nose when I was younger. And believe it or not, a lot of you possibly don't know that I can't smell. I've never had a sense of smell. If I smell like perfume very close to the bottle, I possibly can smell it a little bit, but I generally can't really smell anything. Now, I've always got a blocked nose, okay, and I probably talk that way, and sometimes you can possibly hear that. And I have to use a lot of these antihistamines, and I've been using them for a very, very, very long time, since I was probably 5 years old. Okay, so what this does is hopefully going to replace any drug or any kind of antihistamine that you may have for like headaches or nasal congestion or catarrh or anything like that, for cold, flu. You can obviously have your TENS pads running, and you can also have these running at the same time. Okay, now in the box that you also do get is a pack of, I don't know, I think they're kind of like covers, and it also makes sure that it sticks in your nose or your ear. I think you can also put them in your mouth as well, okay, for like teeth ache and toothache. But these just generally, it's the same as everything that you'll find with their products. It's all quite straightforward. You just plug one end into the generator, okay, or into the boost port, okay, literally like so. And you'll see the program part after this section. And then these light up, and there's like rays of light inside of here. And it kind of gives off a very warm light like the watch does. Okay. And these are either in your ears or your nose, and I think maybe sometimes your mouth. Not really sure. Make sure you wipe them before you put them in from your ears or your nose to your mouth, obviously. Okay. But there's another product that you get that is enabling you to be able to think, okay, where is the pain or where is it that needs work? Because guarantee you within this pack that you get from them, it provides you with upper and middle and lower body, okay, that you can use. Okay, so there's another product that you actually get. So there is the unboxing, and we're going to go over to the bit that's difficult, but it's not very difficult. But you will see that I also make a mistake. But I've put together a spiritual kind of healing, cleansing bath, if you like. And I'm showing you how to use their program that you also get free of charge, that you can download from their website and use all of these products with. And I'm kind of showing you how I put together a chakra and aura healing, kundalini, energy healing in and out, negative thinking, negative thoughts, and all of that is on the next section. But what I will say to you is that if you click any of the links provided below, you will find a discount code or somewhere of getting a discount that you can use in order to purchase a whole package or individual items. If you've already got the Spooky 2 stuff, you can, buy something with 5% off. I do receive a very small commission in order for you to do so, which is very helpful. So please make sure that you use that link and that code so I can also get a very small commission. But I just would like to say thank you for Spooky 2 for sending me this product and putting me onto something new that I didn't actually know myself, that has really been helping me on my journey and to be able to help with my remote viewing and my visions that I receive. This is a very big best friend of mine at the moment. So I'm going to leave you and let you go over to me. And I would just like to say thank you, and I will see you soon. Okay, guys, so here we are in this Spooky 2 software. And I will admit to you that there is a slight amount of learning curve. It depends on if you're really good, if you're technical minded and stuff. And I don't really think that you need to be that technical minded. What I will say is, though, is that you do have to obviously have a laptop or a PC because this uses Windows. And I don't think that you can use an iPad or an Android. I'm really not sure, but I will have to ask the guys over at Spooky 2. But as far as I know, really, you've got to have a PC or a laptop. But most people do these days. Anyway, so you're going to be seeing my screen here. So as all of us that are on this channel are spiritual, or a lot of people that use these kind of things are very spiritual in mind because they use frequencies, vibrations. And obviously when we do meditation and stuff like that, we look at like chakra healing, auras, vitality of life, energy healing, what we feel through soulmates and stuff, and connections with soulmates and people and stuff like that. So this machine kind of does it for you. It's like your own personal soulmate, if you like. So what I've actually discovered this morning as myself is that you can make up a program, and I will run you through this, but you can make up a program yourself of something that you want running, of like your morning ritual. So for a lot of us, we obviously do a lot of meditation in the mornings before we start our practice or stuff like that, and whatever it is that we're doing. So we can make up a program that is going to allow us, in order to more than likely meditate at the same time, but then also use the Spooky 2 products that also give us a very big boost and enhanced energy feeling at the same time as listening to meditation. Now, Spooky 2 actually do their own meditation music. That is, well, to be fair, a lot of it is not actually music, it's frequencies. So you probably can't hear it. It's a little bit like a dog whistle or a deer whistle. If you know my last prediction of where I actually predicted my own accident, then oh dear. But never mind. Let's kind of go into the program here. So what you'll see that I've done, if you have a quick look here, it says aura, and then it also says emotional spectrum, energy in, Energy Vitalize 1, Vitality, Energy Vitalize Cathal, whatever that is, I'm not sure. Fat Energy Metabolism. So it's kind of like digesting all of the fat cells, kind of going through your body, organizing everything that is to do with like food and things like this. Okay. And then keeping the good stuff and trying to get rid of the bad stuff. So it'd be like cholesterol and things you can kind of look into. Um, but like, and then also fatigue syndrome. So feeling very tired and energetically drained throughout the day is obviously going to be a big one for a lot of us. And then also I've got a Kundalini expand. Okay. Now this is just something that I've made up very quickly that I thought a lot of you guys would be very interested in. So here in this box here, okay, if I can bring up a pen, you'll be able to see what I'm kind of doing here. Okay, here. You'll be able to see that there are frequencies, certain frequencies that are kind of telling you all of the information that you're going to be able to see everywhere. Okay. So it goes through its cycle. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Let me just kind of get rid of this. I'm sort of multitasking here. And I'm also very new to this myself. You know me, I'm always blatantly honest with what I do. They've been absolutely great over in Spooky 2 with all of their communication that they've done in order to help me. But let's see anyway. So for a start, what I've done is I've started off with let me try and figure out how to work. So preset. So we go back to presets. Okay. So what we're looking at, there's healing, or there's, at the moment, we're just going to stick with the basics because a lot of these can, it can really start to get very difficult for me to overwhelm you, and that is not my goal. So we're looking at either healing or killing. But the moment that you tap on these, it will give you a brief description or a note of what shell presets mean. Okay. Basically, a shell is something that's empty. Okay, it's like an empty shell, and it's ready to be filled with something. And that's all of the information and stuff that you can use in order to fill it with all of your own programs and frequencies, pretty much. Okay, in a nutshell. So what we're looking at is when we use these here, that is home, obviously. Okay. And this goes up a level back to the last page, or we could just go home. Okay. So really what we're looking at is we're looking at that we want to do we want a shell preset. Okay. That means an empty page, blank page, basically. Then we're looking at coil, contact, plasma, remote, scalar, footbath, general, spooky audio, which is it's kind of like silent meditation, but only frequency wise that you're more than likely not going to be able to hear, or spooky cold laser. Now, all of this will be put in the description box below of what these mean, okay, and what they are. And I will probably go over a lot of that sort of stuff. Well, I'm recording this first, so it's probably I've already showed you maybe. So we're going to pick contact. So contact is obviously things that are contacting your skin. Okay, like we'll just use, say, the TENS pads, maybe the poles. I would also say that the cold laser is the wristband, but it is also contacting your skin. So it's kind of both. You can use like TENS pads and the wristbands and the watch kind of products that they have on offer, and that you will also get with your purchase if you purchase anything really. But if you purchase the kit, the starter kit, you'll kind of get everything that you need. So what we're looking at now is we're going to look at healing, right? So when I double click healing or just click healing, it'll give us a brief description of this shell preset contains no frequencies. It has been designed for programs that heal, entrain, or detox. Okay. So we're looking at healing. So then what we do is we go over to programs. Okay. And we want to fill this shell that we've got which is loaded programs, into the shell. So we're going to load the shell full of programs. So what you'll see is that I typed here is energy, because that's really what this channel will deal with mainly, I would say. Okay, so we're looking at adrenal gland balance, adrenal glands. Then you've got, because there are so many programs on here. So aura sounds good, right? So aura, excuse me, will give us a brief description of what aura is. An aura of human energy field is, according to New Age beliefs, a colored, well, I'm not going to read it all out, but it kind of goes over it for you there. Okay, so we're going to have aura. So you can either double click aura, or you can press this button here, plus. So it's added aura into our shell of a practice that we're going to be using in the morning times or in the evening or at night, but say we're doing it in the morning before we start our journey of life, basically, especially if you are tarot card readers or you experience a lot of karma and bad thoughts, because there's another one on here that I would like to add, which is also negative thinking. So you will also see here that there is a timeline of how long these will take. So to do an aura sweep, it says that it will take up to 3 minutes in order to do it. So that's really not long. So that is good for our starting off point of frequencies looking at our aura. Okay, so then we can kind of go down the list here. Blood pressure. So if we have high blood pressure, we can kind of think, you know what, I've got headache and so on and so forth. And blood pressure really could be causing a lot of blocks, clearing emotional trauma and balance. So it can be like PTSD and stuff. It's really interesting to read what it is that they've put that they do. So I'm liking a bit of that. So we're going to have a bit of blood pressure and balance too. Okay. So then we're looking at cerebral energy. So that's like the cerebral cortex. Okay. A program called by Van Gelder, I don't know, energy, can't read, but spirit did give me a gift. I can read from the Akashic records, and I can read people and tarot cards and speak to the deceased. I just can't read words, unfortunately, not very well. So we're looking at cerebral energy, another time of 3 minutes. So we're going to add that into our shell as well. Then we're looking at chronic fatigue syndrome. So if you are like me and you experience things like sleep apnea, this is very good for sleep apnea, because you'll know that during the day, through not really having REM sleep, your brain is going to be causing a lot of confusion and a lot of fatigue. And we really want good energy around us, and we want to be, sorry, my phone is also going off, got a lot of clients. But we want like really good, clear, crystal thoughts. Okay, so we're going to have fatigue. Okay, then we've got emotional spectrum. We start going on from energy. They start to give us these presets that are also relating to energy of emotional spectrum, right? So the emotional spectrum is an energy field that is fluid by the emotions, fueled by the emotions of all sentient beings' mind. So this is a very spiritual kind of program or exercise that I'm going to start doing and adding into my daily routine. So we're going to add emotional spectrum. Then we're also got another one, which is like energy flow. So if I didn't say the other one that we just looked at, emotional spectrum, that is also a 3 minute. So we're really not looking at long. So energy flow, 9 minutes. Okay. So we'll add a bit of that too. That's obvious, right? Energy flow, that's 9 minutes. Then you've got looking at energy in and also energy out. So I think they're probably both good to go with those. So we'll have energy in and energy out. Okay. Then we're looking at energy vitalized. Now, I know that I added this to my preset, this vitalized energy, vitality. And I really did feel that this morning, after about an hour and a half of me waking up. I'm kind of thinking, right, I need to start doing my readings and start doing YouTube. obviously feeling very drained throughout the night because of sleep apnea. So energy vitalization for me is very important. So I'm kind of like, okay, I really want to add a bit of this Energy Vitalize 1. It also says depression and general. Now, the first one doesn't really say that. This one goes more on to foods that will help you energize your body, batteries, and help you recover and revitalize when you feel tired. So it's kind of like giving you vitamins, because you can actually have minerals and vitamins as well through a lot of the programs that they've got, but this is kind of like an added bonus. So we really want the Vitalize 1. For me, not really Vitalize 2. Okay. Then we can go on to another one, but we're just going to kind of stick with the first one. Okay. Did I add it? Don't think I did. Vitalize 1. Yeah, I did. Yeah. So we can double click that one and that will go. So energy delivery. Okay. Not really a description in that one, but we've got a lot of energy kind of stuff going on, but I am going to add that one. So essential oils, fat cells. Okay, now this is all just under the energy of the category of energy. So fats, energy, metabolism, fatigue 2, 3, fatigue general, fatigue syndrome, chronic, fatigue, and another one. These are all been altered to different frequencies and times, but you will have to read these kind of things to like drowsiness. Okay. Gives you a description of what fatigue is and chronic fatigue and so on and so forth. So I'm going to look at syndrome. Okay. So we're going to add that. Then we've got intensities, gastral tract, digestive tract. So gut, the GI tract. We'll add that too. Okay, now Kundalini, there we go. So this is one that I also found out this morning by basically just browsing through a lot of these programs. Is that because I was going to put in spiritual in the box here to try and, break down, because there are so many different programs that it would take you hours in order to go through them all. So they've obviously given us a window like Google is, like you kind of do your own little search and it will come up with all of the things that you're kind of looking for. I happen to put in energy. So Kundalini, expand. In yoga, female energy, blah, 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 so on and so forth. So we're going to have Kundalini. Now got minerals again, muscle toxic, plant, vitalized energy, vital energy, ATP. There are so many on here, guys. I don't want to bore you. I thought that said Akashic Records then for the moment. Where have we got? Calcium, copper. So it's looking at all of the metals within our blood as well. Detoxing. I'm trying to think what else we could kind of add to our morning routine of spiritual enlightenment here. But I'm sure they are all here. Magnesium, I would say that's a very good one in order to look at, because we're not looking at killing, don't forget, we're looking at healing. Because you can have programs obviously running that are doing a sweep over your body to kill off certain organisms and things that are in your body. Okay. And then we're also looking at then rebuilding the structure of the body. Okay. And then putting in fresh amounts of like magnesium. Okay. So you can do different sweeps, different settings, say one set for killing and destroying and searching and destroying. And then we can have another setting of like vitalization and to replace all of the bad with the good. So magnesium would also be a very good one, I would say, because a lot of people could be deficient in magnesium, especially when we start to look around the context of like sleeping and fatigue and late nights and stuff like that. Magnesium for me is a very good one. So we'll add a bit of magnesium to it. Okay. So I'm going to leave that at the moment there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go over to settings. Now, I really don't want to confuse you on here because I'm still learning myself. But what I do like to do is I look at this part of wobble, okay, which is amplitude and frequency and harmonic wobble. Okay. So if you are into music, like I am, and I mix and master my own music as well, if you was to ever make if you've ever made a track and a piece of meditation music or music in general, we know that when we look at waveform, we start to look at these curves and bends, square waves, where it'd be like, ooh, or and that's obviously how we make tone and tone of voice and music and frequencies, and why some people's voice is annoying and why some people's voice are very settling and relaxing. Tone of voice, so it's frequencies, right? So waveform. So when the waveform is going through your system, we like to make sure that it heals or kills everything. So we start to look at, okay, I want a sawtooth, okay, as an amp wobble, so it wobbles a little bit. And then we also want to say have an inverted sawtooth as well. But I will kind of go over this, and then feathering, harmonic, give it a feather edge. Okay. It's basically just making sure that you don't miss any kind of things that are in your body that it misses and it skips over, or skips a beat or skips a wave and it jumps over it and it escapes through the body. We want to make sure it does like a really good sweep all the way through the body. Right? So we'll kind of leave that at the moment, but then we'll go to control. Okay. So I'm up here, if you can see my cursor here. So this is also very important. So what we're looking at in this general box here where it says generator 3, healing, is all of these numbers. And these are representing like the frequencies and everything that we've been given through all of these things. So we're looking at the emotional spectrum as well. We've got the aura, emotional spectrum, energy in, energy vitalize 1, or vitality 1 and 2, fat energy metabolism, fatigue syndrome, and kundalini expand. Okay, these are all the frequencies that it's going to do. Okay, so what we do is then is we have to make sure that we press overwrite generator. Okay, and then we press this is the generator, and it gives us all of these. Okay, and it starts again. Okay, then what we can do is we press start, and what you will hear, if you did hear that, is your channel generator that you've got, your little box with your dials on it, and your watch or your TENS pads that are connected to it. You will hear it click just very slightly, and that means that everything, all of this information and all of these things that we've put in here will go into the little box that we've got on our desk. And then you will see, if you've got the wrist strap, okay, or the cold laser, you will see that there is you'll know that it's on because the lights will come on and you'll know, okay, it's 100% working. Okay. So that's just a very quick general overview of me putting together a very quick daily routine of what I would do. And now, if I was to save this, which I will show you in a moment, if I was to save this, obviously I would save it on my computer as a PDF file or a new file of spiritual vitalization morning routine. And then when I come to user guide and I think, okay, in the morning, I want to do my spiritual stuff, that's where I'm going to look in my user presets. Okay, and heal up user preset. So we've used the shell, and then we'd go on to user presets and look to see what we've got. We'll look at biofeedback in a second. Okay. Okay, guys. So what I did want to very quickly show you as well is mistakes that you can make. But like I said, when you're using this program, it's a learning curve, and they are quite easily overcome. So what I've realized by what we was just doing by adding all of these presets and the energy vitalize, and we've made a program and an empty shell. Okay, when I'd gone to control to press override and start, nothing happened on the cold laser here. Okay, so what I've realized is that I need the booster. So the booster would have been something that I would have shown you at the beginning of what that is and what that can do. But this wasn't working, and I knew because the lights hadn't come on the back. So I thought, okay, it may need the booster. So you may need in order to do quite a bit of research, but over on the Spooky2 website and also over on their YouTube channel, they have loads of different videos of different people kind of showing you how to do certain things. But what I wanted to just very quickly to show you is I'm not going to show it in the camera because it may blind you, because you also get some sunglasses that come with this, but what it kind of looks like. So we're now kind of got our presets. We know what we're doing. Okay, we're looking at the cold laser, which is down here. Okay, we've got all our programs, Kundalini. I will also state that you can organize all of these here to what you want to for the Spooky2 generator to do first. So if I wanted my blood pressure one doing first, I would hit the arrow with the line on the top and it would go directly to the top. Okay. Or if I hit the bottom arrow, it go directly to the bottom and it reorganize all of these. Okay. So we've kind of got our programs, blah, blah, blah. We go over to the control panel. We hit override generator. Then we hit the generator 3 and then we hit start. You'll hear a click and then I can see it glowing from the bottom of the table, that you will see that this is now glow. I don't want to glare it into the camera, but you will see that it is glowing. Okay. And that means that you'll know that this is actually working. Now, what they do give you with this is obviously it's like a watch, and you can put obviously this on your wrist, but they do also give you a an extended band that you can kind of put on here. Okay, and then you connect these two together, and then this two together here, and then you can end up putting it around your leg or your ankle, or further up your arm. Okay, and it makes this bigger so you can actually wrap it around somewhere else on your body other than your wrist. So what I would do, obviously, I would have this done before I hit start, but I would have this on my wrist here. I know that it's going because I can kind of peek through there and see that it's running. Okay, and then what we are running, obviously, is the Kundalini Expand, the Aura Emotional Spectrum, Vitalize of Energy. When it gets to the energy ones, I can really feel those. I haven't tried the Kundalini one yet, and some of these other ones I haven't tried yet. But you can also, don't quote me on this, but I'm sure you can as well. You can connect up the TENS pads. But I would have shown you this video of what you get with this product at the beginning. But you would connect your TENS pads outlet, like this cable, but the other one, to here. Okay. And that would also give you double the boost. So you can have your wrist going, and then you can also have the TENS pads. So what it normally would be, okay, I'll have this on my left wrist, okay, on my right wrist, and then I'll have a TENS pad on my ankle on the opposite side of my body, so it creates a flow from left to right. Okay, I might end up doing another video about placements of certain things, because obviously it's the conducted of energy like you would use a TENS pad or a TENS machine, but you don't normally feel these. Okay. Some of them you do. You can actually feel it working, but it is not like a TENS machine where you put it on and you're getting jolts of electricity that's kind of trying to, what would I say, your joints and muscles. When you use a TENS pad, it volts your muscle in order to try and release the tendons to stop backache and pain. This isn't the same thing. It's frequency. Okay. So a lot of the time you may not feel the fact that it's working, but then sometimes you can think, oh my God, I'm really starting to feel different and stuff like that straight away. Okay. But you just can't feel it on your body actually working. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I know that that is because the light is actually functioning on the wrist. And I know now that it is cycling through all of these, and it will take up to 57 minutes. Now, I did change these because, like I said, I did get into a bit of I clicked it and the wrist wasn't working. So I thought, okay, I need to debunk why this isn't working. The only reason it wasn't is because I didn't have the booster attached to the generator. Okay, because it is a lot of energy that it needs to boost. So I needed this on. Okay, so I wanted to show you that working, and there's that segment. So that is my conclusion of the product of Spooky 2. All links are provided below. I will receive a very small amount of money if you guys use my link. So I really would appreciate it if you did buy it from my link or from definitely the code that may be there. I'm not 100% sure what is going to be there yet because I'm recording this ahead of time of me actually knowing, but it will be in the description by the time this is posted. If you do want to buy something, I'm just letting you know that I will receive a small commission for you guys buying it. And then if you do, I would like to hear from you. Let me know. How has it been working for you? I may do a collaboration, a video with you and put your testimony on here or whatnot and see what your benefits that you've had from it. Okay. So all links are provided below. Thank you so much again for Spooky 2 allowing me to demonstrate their product. I will 100% and have been using this every day myself, and I will be using it from now on. All links are provided below, and thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys very soon.